So hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to get the Holy Roman and an Empire achievement in Hearts of Iron 4. So my main strategy is going to be starting as Italy, and so first we're not going to take over Ethiopia, but we're going to have our troops stationed there so that we fail the offensives in the north and south of Ethiopia. So then we can get I think it's the African struggle or something like that. We can get that focus, and then after that we will just give up Ethiopia because we need to be at peace to start installing the monarchy, and from there we'll start doing some focuses in the meantime, because we have to get monarchist support. Start doing focuses in the meantime to get parts of Yugoslavia, Albania, and then try to get Iberia. And then after that, we'll defeat the Allies and move to the rest of the Mediterranean. You don't need nearly as much to form Rome as you used to, so this achievement isn't actually as hard as it seems. And there's a little bit of a misconception that I had that maybe some other people have that haven't tried this achievement. The Pope is actually just a leader that you can get of Italy. It's not like you releasing Rome and trying to fight with just 2 states or something. Anyways, let's start. Anyways, let's actually start with the tutorial. So, first what you need to do, get these divisions into an army, put them there, and these divisions, get them into an army, put them in the southern part of Ethiopia, but do not attack Ethiopia, just let them sit there for a while, and everybody else will be in their own army, and they'll be on standby. Let's put them in Yugoslavia, since that's probably what we're going to go after first. And then our first focus, since we're waiting to get one of these African focuses, we're going to take army primacy. And then do some basic research, 1 on infantry equipment, 1 on research speed, then 2 on industry. Sorry, I hit my mic. Then for our industry, build civilian factories in these 3 states for now, and once these start becoming open, we also build civilian factories up there. Then for military factories, we're going to put max on infantry equipment. We're going to get rid of the basic light tank production, and we're going to replace it with towed artillery, and then just put 5 on all of your military production, and also change this to the interwar fighters, and then just put max stockyards on this. And once this is done once all of these ships are getting done built, you should probably build convoys, because you're going to need to integrate a pretty decent amount of puppets later on. Then don't forget to just trade to get rid of shortages, and you can start. Okay, so once End the Christmas Offensive pops up, what you should do is by any means necessary so that you can fail these 2 missions as soon as possible. I know it sounds weird to fail them, but you need to do it to get the monarchy. Okay, so after this focus is completed, we're going to do Italian highways, because this will improve our infrastructure, and that will be very important for building civilian factories. And we're just going to take a couple more focuses while we wait for this to fail. Okay, so after you get Italian highways done, the next focus you want to take is steel industry in Terni, and when this focus is done, we will start doing the stuff we need for the monarchy. Okay, and this is something important as Italy that you can get pretty early on. You can get war economy for a little bit cheaper than usual because of Benito's bonuses, and you should be able to keep it for the whole game. Once the fronts stall, you need to do a staggering failure as your decision, because this is what will allow you to install the monarchy, and now you just need to retreat out of Ethiopia. The way I would do this is just take your divisions, deleting the front line, and then just hauling it to the nearest port and sending them back home. The reason you need to do this is because you need to be at peace to start taking the monarchy focuses. And so even if you defeat Ethiopia, you're still technically at war. And then after steel industry and turning is done, you need to undermine the deuce. Once you have left Ethiopia, now you should be able to take the decision, withdraw from Ethiopia, which will give them a peace deal. And they should accept it, which means you're now going to be at peace. And this allows you to start becoming a monarchy instead of a dictatorship. After you finish Undermine the Deuce, you need to take Conspiracies in the Shadows. After Conspiracies in the Shadows is done, take Convene the Grand Council. Once you finish Convene the Grand Council, you should hire the Staunch Monarchist for extra non-aligned support. And next, you should take Depose Mussolini. After you depose Mussolini, I would recommend going down Foreign Affairs, because now we're going to try to take Yugoslavia just through some decisions that we get from this part of the focus tree. So take Foreign Affairs. Also, to help boost your monarchist support, I would do anti-democratic raids. After you finish Foreign Affairs, take Balkan Ambition. And let's put the extra divisions you have in the army, just reorganize them like this, and then put the extra divisions that you got from Africa into, oh my gosh, into Zara. Once you finish Balkan Ambition, take Albanian Occupation, and now you should be able to start claiming parts of Yugoslavia. So now you should be able to demand Dalmatia, and then claim the Montenegrin throne, and even if they reject that, still send the ultimatum to Yugoslavia. Now, usually Yugoslavia will submit to all three of these. However, sometimes they might not submit to becoming your puppet, and if that happens, just wait until they are not guaranteed by France or Romania to take them out. And I think Czechoslovakia guarantees them as well. So just wait until they lose those guarantees and then take them out. Anyways though, now we need to move our troops onto our border against Albania. Albania should accept, as they pretty much always do. And now you should have enough monarchist support to do Monarchia d'Italia. Also, this is something I forgot to do in the beginning. You should assign these guys to a field marshal, because it's just a good idea. And also put them on the highest motorization priority so they get the best supply possible. Once you finish Monarchy d'Italia, you should wait before taking a focus here, because you need to do Power to the King. So what I would do in the meantime, while we're trying to get 50% support for non-aligned, is do these focuses for your economy. Also, you may notice that some of your generals became unemployed. Just hire new ones. I forget which ones specifically get fired, but it should not be a big deal. Also, remember to keep doing anti-democratic raids, and now that you're monarchist, you can also do anti-fascist raids. This will boost your non-aligned support quite a lot, even though you should only really be getting 0.05 monarchist support every day. Once you start getting free dockyards from finishing these ships, put the extra dockyards on convoys because you'll need them to annex your puppets that you'll have later. And we'll just keep doing, actually I'll do new corporations before I do prepare for the coming wars, because that is 6 whole factories that you don't have to build. And even though it is a pretty bad debuff to construction speed, I think that 6 civilian factories for just 70 days is a pretty good deal. Don't forget to keep doing anti-fascist, anti-democratic raids, and eventually you should get the ability to do anti-communist raids as well to boost your non-aligned support. And it just boosts your stability, which is very good as well. Then after new corporations is finished, take prepare for the coming wars. Remember to keep building civilian factories until around 1939. Then after prepare for the coming wars is finished, you should take, so your next focus should be Fiochi Munizioni. I don't know if I just butchered that pronunciation, but it's the next focus. And by the time this focus finishes, you should have around 50% monarchist support. Okay, now that this focus is finished, we're going to wait until we have over 50% monarchist support, and then we're going to take power to the king. By around this time, you should also have enough equipment to start training subdivisions. So I would train a whole other extra army of 24 divisions, actually 2 extra armies of 24 divisions, and then 2 extra divisions to fill up this army. And when you're done training your divisions, you should have 96 divisions in total. This is about all you need to do this achievement. Once power to the king is finished, you can either take disband the black shirts first, or take seek papal support. Either way, it doesn't matter, but in this case, I'm just going to take disband the black shirts first. Once you finish disband the black shirts, you should take seek papal support. Okay, after you finish seek papal support, do agents of the church. Also, you should start doing these decisions so that you can install the Pope as your leader as soon as possible. Once you finish agents of the church, take strengthen the papacy. Something that I forgot about was that once you take disband the black shirts, you will lose a couple of divisions, so I would recommend reinforcing your army with some of the extra divisions that you train, just so you can get up to 96 divisions and have 4 full armies of 24 divisions. Just need to train 26 of these dudes. Our army will be complete. After you finish strengthen the papacy, take setting course. You should also take liturgical reforms so that in a year from the time that you take this, you can get the Pope installed by taking it again. Because after your support for the Pope goes over 60%, the Pope becomes the leader of your country. After you finish taking setting course, you should take Mare Nostrum. After you finish taking Mare Nostrum, take Iberian protection. And just in case Portugal denies your request, I would recommend setting up a naval invasion in southern Portugal like this, with 4 divisions taking the port and 3 divisions taking the 2 provinces next to the port. Don't forget to combine your navy, because that will be very important in the future. Okay, now that Iberian protection is done, just wait and see if either country accepts. Now, in my case, I was very lucky and didn't have to invade either national Spain or Portugal. I almost said Italian Portugal. So I can just keep doing the next focus. And our next focus for right now will be trying to get all roads lead to Rome by taking the Italian legions. Also, after you finish getting the Iberians under your control, you should move your navy up to Galicia, and then move your army up there as well with a garrison the port's order. And once they're there, we will talk about what to do next. Once all your divisions are in position at their ports in northern Spain, you should select one of your armies and start setting up a naval invasion of Dover, and set it up like this: 4 divisions attacking Dover itself, and then 3 attacking the provinces right outside of Dover. And also, don't forget to set up your navy to be in this area as well, with naval invasion support. Now, once it starts to become 1939 or around there, I would recommend starting to build military factories across your country. Once you finish the Italian legions, take all roads lead to Rome. This will give you a war goal on every country that you border, except for, stuff like puppets. Something that I forgot to mention is we will be going to war with France, so you should send one army back to protect this border here. Now, once you finish this focus, it's time to go to war with France. And the focuses I would recommend doing in the meantime are, well, none of these necessarily help a whole lot. However, I would recommend doing something like expand the Royal Guard, just stuff to give you like extra attack or extra divisions. Now, once you declare war on France, I wouldn't recommend calling Spain into the war quite yet, since I think it's a better idea to have a landing in the UK before you do that. So anyways, we're going to activate our naval invasion, and it probably won't succeed for a while, but eventually Germany will declare war. We're just declaring war early so that we can get the war participation. Now, as I said, the naval invasion didn't work. However, we will get some good war participation. Eventually, you should get naval supremacy in both of these seas, although it probably will take a while. Also, something that you need to do is trade for oil so that you don't run out of oil while you're fighting the Allies. If your front line starts to falter here, like mine is, you might have to actually send an army onto the border between Spain and France to call the Spanish in and make sure they don't lose land as well, just so the French are having to fight on 2 fronts. Also, you should move up to extensive conscription so that you don't run out of manpower during this war. Don't forget to give your generals traits just to get some extra bonuses. A year after you took liturgical reforms in the first place, you should be able to take it again to get the Pope as your leader. Don't forget that you can do some extra things to get extra papal dominance, which will give you even more bonuses, like justify war goal time on us plus 25%, not super useful, but stability plus 10%, generate war goal tension limit against country minus 50%. Pretty much gets rid of the fact that you're not aligned, which is pretty good. Now that Germany has declared war on the Allies, I would recommend, well, not just recommend, you should do this, dismantle your faction and join the Axis. You should be able to after a little bit. So you probably won't be able to join the Axis first, but eventually, because you're at war with so many of the nations that they're at war with, they will let you in despite you having like no fascist support. Now, as you can see, the French basically put everything on your border and nothing on the German border. This is exactly what we planned for, and now as they pull their troops back, we might actually be able to get a couple of provinces from France. I would also recommend setting up a couple of offenses just so they're ready to be activated when the French lines start getting weak on your border. Hey, the naval invasion started. I didn't even notice that. Now that this naval invasion has started, you want to send another, well, first you want to delete all of these front lines and send your full army of 24 divisions in and have them go aggressive across Britain. And then you want to send the one army that's free down here and also send them to Britain and do the same thing with an aggressive offensive. This should completely destroy the UK, and this should get you a pretty decent amount of war participation. When Britain falls, you should now turn your armies to France. Now, usually France falls first, so you don't have to do this, but in my case, France is actually stronger than Britain. So I would assign my army down here, and also make sure that this army stays in Italy. And then also have them activate an offensive. Because even if you lose a lot of men, you get the war participation, and that's really what matters. Now, once Paris falls, the war should be over, and now, usually Vichy France is formed, and you'll need to declare war on them while still being the Axis, because Germany will guarantee them. But if you get a situation like we have, you can actually take the provinces you need to form Rome without having to fight Vichy France. So, first, let's take the provinces we need to form Rome, which is actually all the states in the Mediterranean. So we'll start by taking all the states that border the Mediterranean. And I'm just going to take extra here and there because why not? It's fun to have a strong Italy. Okay, since I deem it more important to actually get rid of the UK and France entirely, take the provinces you need to form Rome, the provinces bordering the Mediterranean, and make sure that after Germany takes what it wants, you take everything else left of the Allies to make sure that whenever you go to war with Turkey, you don't have to fight the Allies again, because it's really annoying to have to invade some random Pacific island. Don't forget to take Gibraltar. I almost did. Okay, now that you've taken all the provinces you need to form Rome from the Allies, look through this list and take any provinces that the Germans haven't taken to make sure that both France and the UK are gone. So that should leave both the UK and the French completely gone off the map. And now all you need to do is annex your puppets and take over Greece and Turkey. So that's what we're going to do next. So first, I would actually recommend taking down Greece first, because the Germans will likely declare war on them, and you don't want to have to fight the Germans if they take over Greece. Alright, pretty much the achievement in the bag. Now, once your troops are on the border with Greece, you should have a war goal from All Roads Lead to Rome against the Greeks. Now, Romania might join the war against you. This won't be a huge issue. What you would do in this case is call Yugoslavia in, then request their whole army, and just use their army to block the Romanians from invading you. And then have your main army go down here and finish Greece off. Now, you might have to micro the area around Athens, since for whatever reason, your troops won't automatically make a front line here. Now, once you defeat Greece, just full annex them. Then, after you're done defeating Greece, set your army against the Romanians, and you should be able to just quickly attack them once your army is in place. And also keep building military factories. Also, I'd recommend deploying your air force to help against the Romanians. So once you take out Romania, you can do whatever you want with it. You don't really need Romania. However, I wouldn't recommend taking Bessarabia, since that may very well get you into a war with the Soviets. So what I'm going to do is just take everything but Bessarabia. And now you need to set your sights on Turkey. Now what I would recommend is having two armies set up on the Greco-Turkish border and the rest set up on the Syrian-Turkish border, and just having a two offensives attacking Turkey. Like this. And of course, give your generals traits after that war is over. And start justifying on Turkey. As long as you... Whoa. Well, sometimes you get a really long war goal, and while you wait for that war goal to be completed, start annexing your subjects. Now, the best way, in my opinion, to get your subjects to be annexed is sending them convoys, airplanes, or trucks in a lend-lease. Also, to help lower their autonomy, I would also recommend building some factories in your subject's territory. Once your war goal is justified, declare war on Turkey. Now you should have the offensive up here, which may or may not break through, but this offensive is the offensive that really matters. I'd also recommend sending your air force down here to give you an extra bonus to attacking in Turkey. Alright, once you capitulate Turkey, just take everything in a peace deal. And now, if you've annexed all your puppets along the Mediterranean, you should be able to form Rome, and this will get you the Holy Roman and an Empire achievement, which should have popped up here for me. Let me check. There it is. So, that is how you get the Holy Roman and an Empire achievement in Hearts of Iron 4. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, subscribe. Peace.